The brain is by far the most metabolically active organ in the body. Because it's small, it's only 2 or 3% of our body weight, but it uses up about 25% of what you've eaten. When you're really stressed or really focused, it's using up a third of what you've eaten. But I don't think that anybody wakes up in the morning and really thinks, what should I eat today so I can make really good decisions?
In order to keep our brains healthy and young, we will concentrate on the nutrients we should eat in this video. We'll learn this from renowned neuroscientist and former psychiatrist Dr. Tara Swart. In addition to being a senior lecturer at MIT and King's College London, she advises and coaches international media and business professionals. Her best-selling book, The Source, Open Your Mind, Change Your Life, has taught millions of people how to master their brains. The doctor continued to share her knowledge of how to improve brain health by creating the right bodily conditions. We'll start by discussing the top 5 foods for brain health, followed by 3 supplements that are excellent for the brain and nervous system. In addition to discussing how intermittent fasting can help maintain the youth and health of our brains, Dr. Tara Swart will look at 3 surprising food types that we should stay away from. The first and most important for the brain is DHA.
DHA omega-3s, because your brain is 60% fat and 90% of that is DHA, which you can't produce naturally. So this is a non-negotiable essential for your life.
Where can we get DHA naturally?
DHA, which is really only found in oily fish, but now we know you can get it really sustainably from algae or seaweed as well. If you don't eat fish, then you pretty much do need to supplement it. If you do eat fish, you actually need to be eating 3 portions of oily fish per week. That can be tricky for people. It's one of the basic building blocks of many cells, but brain cells particularly, and that's why children are often given omega oils.
While most seaweeds include omega-3 fatty acids, the greatest plant-based sources of DHA are microalgae, which are often taken as supplements instead of whole seaweed. Microalgae are the primary suppliers of DHA in the marine food chain. Since oily fish get their DHA from consuming microalgae, microalgae supplements provide a direct plant-based source of DHA. Some seaweeds or macroalgae like nori, wakame, and spirulina may contain trace amounts of omega-3s like DHA and EPA, but these levels are typically lower than those found in fish or microalgae. Next are colorful berries and vegetables high in anthocyanins.
At least 65 grams, half a small pack of blueberries, blackcurrants, blackberries, cranberries or cherries for anthocyanins, which are antioxidants that protect against the wear and tear processes of everyday life.
Eating 30 different plant products a week and varying the color as much as possible.
Anthocyanins, which are powerful antioxidants that promote overall health, are found in vibrant fruits and vegetables like berries and red cabbage. They shield brain cells from oxidative damage, which may enhance heart health by improving blood vessel function, reduce inflammation, and improve memory and cognition. Next are green leafy vegetables, which are hydrating and contain essential components for the nervous system.
Leafy greens also have a lot of magnesium in them, which is good for stressed people.
Magnesium is essential for brain health. It helps reduce stress and anxiety by regulating the body's stress response and influencing serotonin production, which improves mood. Additionally, magnesium shields brain cells from inflammation and oxidative stress, which may lower the risk of neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's. It also promotes better sleep, which improves brain function and overall mental health by calming the nervous system. Foods high in magnesium include leafy greens, nuts, and seeds, whole grains, legumes, avocados, dark chocolate, fatty salmon, and bananas. Eggs are the next meal that is beneficial for the brain.
Eggs are also, have choline in them, so they're also good for your brain. So trying to include one or most of those things like on a daily basis.
Choline is essential for brain health because it stimulates the production of acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter involved in memory, emotion, and cognitive function. It is also essential for the development of the brain and neurological system, particularly during pregnancy and the early years of life. Choline protects brain cells and helps maintain the integrity of cell membranes by encouraging proper communication and signaling. Foods high in choline include eggs, liver, fish, chicken, dairy products, soybeans, cruciferous vegetables, and peanuts. Eggs are one of the best nutritious sources of choline, with an incredible 147 milligrams per large egg. That equates to roughly 25% of your daily choline needs from a single egg. Water comes next.
But I'm just really surprised by how many people hardly drink any water, and certainly not close enough to what you should drink. So the formula is half a litre for every 15 kilos of your body weight per day. And if you drink quite a lot of caffeine or alcohol, then you need to add in an extra glass of water to make up for that, because they actually make you release water from your cells. They're diuretics. I always say to people, you wouldn't drive your car to work if you hadn't filled it up with oil and water. But you get out of bed in the morning, grab a coffee, don't drink any water, and expect to be a really great manager or leader today. You've got this huge digital transformation on your hands, and your brain cannot work properly without water. It's like it underpins all of the electrical and chemical processes that go on between our neurons and other cells, muscle cells, and gut cells and things.
Let's now examine gut health, which is important for maintaining brain health.
There's a lot of neurons in the gut, and there's a strong nerve connection between the gut and that limbic part of the brain, which is the emotional and intuitive part of the brain. What we know now is that there is actually a three-way communication between the gut neurons, the gut bacteria, and the brain. The gut bacteria obviously has an effect on the gut neurons itself and the gut lining, but it also separately sends chemical messages in the blood directly to the brain. So the gut bacteria talk to the gut neurons and the brain directly. All three of them communicate with each other. So if you're stressed, if you eat a lot of processed food, if you drink a lot of alcohol, sugary drinks, if you've taken antibiotics and it's damaged the quality and diversity of your gut bacteria, then basically it sends the wrong signals to the gut neurons and the brain. And that starts to create brain fog and an inability to trust your intuition, because it may just be taking shortcuts for your survival all the time now, rather than using the wisdom that you've picked up in your life and, putting patterns together that can guide you. Doing all the right things to build up your gut microbiome, like prebiotic foods, probiotics, fermented foods like kimchi and sauerkraut and kefir and kombucha, is also a good way to future-proof yourself against those problems.
Dr. Tara offers some advice on choosing probiotics.
But any capsule that's got over 50 billion strains of bacteria, that will be good. There are a few strains of bacteria called psychobiotics that if you take them for a month, you have improved insomnia, less anxiety. People have even been able to lower the dose of their antidepressant medication or come off it completely just by taking a probiotic. So some of the research that's been done with probiotics, they are doing a trial at King's College London on probiotics for Parkinson's disease. Probiotics have been used as the treatment, not an adjunct, the treatment for urinary tract infections.
Dr. Tara suggests several vitamins in addition to probiotics and omega-3 fatty acids. Vitamin D.
A lot of people in the Western world, and particularly closer to the poles, are vitamin D deficient. And a lot of countries fortify milk or cereals with vitamin D, but still we are vitamin D deficient. We just simply don't get enough sun, which is our natural way of manufacturing vitamin D inside our body if we're not getting it through our nutrients. The UK government and NHS is now saying that we should all be taking vitamin D for 9 months of the year. It used to be sort of 3 months, 6 months when it's winter kind of thing, but now we need to be building up those levels proactively. Vitamin D has, we've always known that it's protective against certain cancers later in life. And the B vitamins, they're sort of for the whole nervous system. The B6, the B1, the B12, the folate, all of those good things, they're required for our entire nervous system, not just the central nervous system, and they combat things like fatigue. So basically, if we take antioxidants, they mop up those free radicals and reduce the damage that's caused by the severe pro-oxidant processes, but also just the natural aging processes. So basically, omega oils, antioxidants, the B vitamins, those are kind of the top three.
Dr. Tara Swart will now go over 3 different food categories that lead to oxidative stress. First, the processed foods.
Particularly if we eat processed food or smoked food or are under a lot of stress, that is our pro-oxidant processes that release these free radicals. And these free radicals cause cell death. So cell death to neurons, but just general cell death. And that's what aging is, really. And that process of cell death is called apoptosis, just for the science geeks out.
Second is burned or smoked food.
Not eating smoked food. So smoked food is very pro-oxidant. So that will undo a lot of the good of taking antioxidants. And, you know, I used to love smoked salmon, but I stopped it at the age of 30 when I started that reverse aging diet.
The third category is glucose spiking foods, which we covered in detail in this earlier video.
What your brain uses to think, your cognitive resources, are glucose and oxygen. And glucose is the breakdown products of a healthy diet. It's not refined sugar. Because that would completely spike your glucose level, and then the insulin would work quickly to bring it down. So then you wouldn't have resources left for your brain. But if you eat low GI, low glycemic index foods, a decent amount of glucose is going to last for longer.
Finally, brain health may benefit from intermittent fasting.
I only eat between 12 noon and 8 p.m, but you could do 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. So that kind of fasting is very beneficial for your brain as well, but only if you've got the foundations right. It's not going to help you if you don't. Well, it helps to regulate your blood sugar levels. You know, spiking blood sugar levels aren't good for your body or your brain. Fasting and calorie restriction, they do have brain health and longevity benefits, but only if your foundations are right. You know, somebody who's stressed or eats badly or doesn't sleep enough will not benefit from time-restricted eating or intermittent fasting, because it is a form of stress on your body, but it's a form of stress that your body can take and use to build resilience if the baseline level of stuff is good.